let's go to crypto now. And the world on every trader's lips this month is Bitcoin, which is on fire after making record gains since its peak 2 years ago. Analysts thought it would never make gains like it did in November 2021 when it hit its peak value, but the past 3 months has proven otherwise. So why the sudden rally? Emre Boz explains.
When cryptocurrencies first emerged, many analysts were skeptical of them ever replacing long-established cash money or becoming a reliable form of investment. Fast forward to today, and digital currencies like Bitcoin have reached levels unseen since a peak in November 2021, which hit around $68,000. In the past month alone, the currency rose by almost 59%, passing the $68,000 mark and snowballing at a pace not seen in 2 years. But why the sudden rise? Analysts point to 2 factors. Firstly, Bitcoin is riding off the gains of rallying US stocks, seeing their best February performance in nearly a decade. This is as markets digested crucial inflation readings indicating possible rate cuts by the US Fed this year. The S&P 500 rose by nearly 4% to more than 5,000, and the Nasdaq climbed by 4.75% to over 16,000. Secondly, there's the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, which have increased liquidity for the digital currency and made investment into it easier, as investors don't necessarily have to own the asset directly, with ETFs merely tracking the price fluctuations.
The ETF approval has a lot to do with the Bitcoin rally. Essentially, what that ETF means is that cryptocurrencies become more in vogue with the retail market, and it's a massive boost of liquidity for cryptocurrencies. And I think that has played a massive part in the rally we've seen in Bitcoin and also some of the other cryptocurrencies as well. And the other factor, I think, has been the market is still expecting we'll get lower interest rates in the US at some point this year, albeit it could be delayed, and a lower interest rate environment that would also assist so-called riskier assets such as cryptocurrencies.
Despite the rally, analysts say Bitcoin continues to be a speculative asset. These hold the potential of gaining value in the near future, but also have a substantial risk of losing value.
Bitcoin has typically behaved like a speculative asset like stock, and actually whenever stocks are performing well, typically the Bitcoin is performing even better, and also goes the opposite way around.
Cryptocurrency exchanges have also come under the spotlight, and not for good reasons. Cryptocurrency exchange Gemini filed for bankruptcy in November 2022 and has now agreed to return at least $1.1 billion to customers of its defunct lending program following a settlement with US regulators. This follows other exchanges like FTX, once one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, declaring bankruptcy after its collapse in November 2022, with the US court finding its CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, guilty of securities fraud and money laundering.
And the crypto platform FTX went bankrupt. It turns out they had committed fraud that really hurt the overall market. Well, we don't really know how other exchanges will fare going forward.
An air of uncertainty continues to linger around the cryptocurrency space, but at least for now, Bitcoin seems to be bucking that trend. Emre Boz, TRT World.
Let's bring in Gilson Ribeiro da Costa. He is the CEO of VAF Compliance, and he joins us now from Dubai. Thank you very much for being with us indeed. So we are now close to record highs for Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies. Why? Because no one would have really predicted it would have happened now.
Thanks very much for having me. Yeah, it's right. I think on the piece before, it shows definitely Bitcoin behaves a little bit like equities to behave, and we can see the numbers on the markets currently. And then for sure, the ETF is driving the price high in the inflows. And also, I would say the anticipation for the halving event in April. Scarcity, I would say, is the key word that is driving the price up right now.
Interesting. Over the years, we've really seen interest grow from pension funds to sovereign wealth funds, also adoption by institutional investors, not just retails and not just the so-called crypto bros, right? Does this mainstream adoption, or rather more mainstream adoption, mean, do you think, that regulations will be introduced at some point and this will become a regulated asset?
I think we're going towards that way. The whole market in crypto itself is going towards decentralization, towards regulation. We have it in Dubai right now. So for sure, ETF that we have now is for BTC, and the speculation that the next one will come will be on Ethereum. It seems that we're going towards that way. And for sure, regulation is something that has to come. Once you involve retail investors, and that's what ETF has allowed anyone basically to be able to invest in Bitcoin without having to hold it, without having to have that expertise to safekeep Bitcoin or crypto in general, then for sure the regulators will come in because retail investors at some stage need to be protected.
So you're optimistic about that, right? Something will be done in terms of regulations. And we'll see. And a question on the exchanges, right? Because there's a lot of debate and worry around the exchanges themselves and how easy it is right now to hack an exchange and for many people to lose a lot of money. What can be done in that sense?
I think a lot has been done already. I don't think it's that easy to hack into the exchange. Of course, there are concerns always been there. But again, this is another thing that regulation helps. You have a lot of exchanges, and you have, for example, in Dubai, they are regulated and controlled. So therefore, there's a lot of factors that you have to go into in terms of a security perspective, in terms from cybersecurity, and in terms of the people involved with the exchange actually vetting the individuals behind this exchange. So to prevent and so show that we have learned from past experience, like FTX as an example.
Right, $1 million question now. What do you predict in terms of the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Do you think they will continue soaring or just retract now and correct after essentially touching record highs?
I think that the correction is due at any time, but I think any investor in crypto, anyone that's been around the crypto markets, it's very cautious when it comes about making predictions and trying to see what the future is going to bring. The market is looking good and healthy right now. I think the scarcity point in terms of the BTC is definitely playing a key role. And you see the ETF, like people like BlackRock, filing to buy even more Bitcoin because they understand that Bitcoin will not be produced forever. And so much will be available in the market at one point. So therefore, I think I do predict right now, if I can, that the price will continue to rise at least until we have the halving.
Right, and one last question, and quickly because we're running out of time, but I remember analysts really predicting that Bitcoin could have had this store of value function, right? Especially a hedge against inflation, but rather it's been really acting like a share, like a risky asset. Why? And can it be a store of value then?
I think it can be a store of value, but yes, like I said, because of speculation, basically. I think that's what drives a lot of even you mentioned the stocks itself, right? Even that as well, a lot of times based on some speculation. Can this firm produce something or discover something? Until they actually materializes, there's always speculation involved around it. And with so much interest and curiosity from retail investors, specifically now that you have a mainstream investment with ETFs, it's difficult to predict where it can go, but I think we continue to see the trend that exists until now where the price can dip and go high and low in very short periods of time.